Okay, we're gonna make quick, easy bread. It's gonna take like under 4 hours, believe it or not, for you to get some bread in your mouth. All right, what we got here is 3 cups of flour. You could use all-purpose flour. I'm using bread flour. And to that, we're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of active yeast, instant yeast. We got little hands here helping us today to show you how easy this is. And we have 1 teaspoon of salt. And we're gonna mix that in with our whisk very well. Hold the bowl for it doesn't slide. There you go. And you want warm water. So you want water between 105 to 110. You don't want to go over 110. You'll kill your yeast. So we're going to slowly take the thermometer out. It's 109. And we're going to slowly take the whisk out. And we're going to be very careful with the water. And we're going to slowly pour it in. Put the whole cup in there. There you go. Put it in there so it don't trip off the sides. There you go. Put it on the side. And we're going to use a spoon and we're going to mix it. Hold the bowl. Go slow because we want the flour to fall all out. We just really don't need any of this bread. We just want to mix it really well and get all that flour incorporated into the dough. Or into the water. So we're going to mix that very well. Try to get all the flour off the sides and off the bottom. Maybe get a better grip on that spoon, huh? Maybe go a little lower. Maybe a little more easier for you. There you go. Hold the bowl and scrape it off the sides. Get all that flour in there. Mix it around. And all of it to come together. Get all the flour off the sides. And what we're going to do, very simple. We're going to get what we can off the spoon. Always make sure you have clean hands. We washed our hands before we started. Make sure all your utensils are clean and everything. What we're going to do is cover this with a plastic wrap. And let it sit on the counter to do its job. The yeast is going to eat. So let it sit there for 3 hours, then we'll be back. Okay, we're going to lightly flour this. Lightly flour our hands, which are washed and clean, and we're going to take this out very gently. I like to use a bowl scraper. Comes in handy. I'll flour it out a little bit. And when you get this on our floured surface here, this is beautiful, beautiful bread. And what we're going to do is lightly flour the surface of this. With the bread scraper, we're going to form it into a slate ball. That looks kind of good. So what we're going to do is get a bowl, put this aside, and what we're going to do, I'm going to put some parchment paper in there. We're going to transfer this into our Dutch oven, but we're going to let this rest for about 35 minutes, and we're going to set our oven for 450 while this is resting. Cover it up, keep it from drying out the surface. And we'll just let this rest for about 35 minutes while our oven's warming up to about 450, and then we'll be back. Okay, this has been resting for about 30-35 minutes. As you can see, it risen a little. And what we're going to do is we're going to transfer this to a preheated Dutch oven that's been baking in the oven at 450 for about an hour. So we're going to open our oven and take out the preheated, carefully Dutch oven and the lid. And what we're going to do is carefully transplant our bread into the Dutch oven. Be very careful you don't burn yourself. And we're going to put the lid back on carefully. It's okay if the paper sticks out a little, just make sure the lid's on like all the way. And we're going to stick this back in the oven for a half an hour. Don't touch it until then. Just take the lid off the Dutch oven very carefully. It's very hot. And let that sit in there for another 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. My family likes a lighter crust. So we're going to take this out. Look at that. Beautiful. Out. Put it on a cooling rack and let that cool down before you cut into it from a half an hour to an hour. And we'll be back to cut it open. Okay, our bread has been resting for about half an hour and little hands can't wait. So we're going to cut into it. Let's see what we have. Look at that. Beautiful for sandwiches, toast. I'm gonna butter him a piece up right now. It's nice and warm still. Like I said, you can let this cool down for at least about an hour. It's been a half an hour and it's still steaming. Butter that up for him. Try and grab a piece, and I'll grab a piece, and let me know what you think. Oh, it's springy, chewy.
Really good.
Very good. Okay. Here you have it for some quick bread. It's not that hard to make. Like I said, there's only 4 ingredients, no chemicals. You got your water, your yeast, your flour, and your salt. So keep it moving, keep it flowing.